Alright, what is going on? My subscribers, my viewers, my fans, whatever y'all want to be called. As you can tell by the title, today is another horrible work experience. And the reason why I spread this one out like so far is because I really don't have a lot of them. I didn't really work for that long. It was basically just to raise money, well, not raise money, but like earn some money so I could buy my whole setup and everything. Which I did, you know. And that's why I'm here making videos for y'all today. Alright, so this one is actually a lot worse than the other one, honestly. And honestly, this story still, like, kind of gets me to this very day. Like, I feel really bad about the whole thing. Like, I want to say it was my fault, but at the same time, like, honestly, I was told by someone else that, like, it was hard to understand even for them. Like, they didn't even get it the first time I explained it to them. So yeah, guys, let's hop right into this little treat I got for y'all. Alright, so it all starts out when, well, I guess when customers come into the store, or how else would it start? Alright, and so they came up to me and I was at a register, and the first thing I noticed was that they weren't really, like, talking to each other. They were kind of, well, making hand signs. And since I hadn't, like, seen signing in a while, I kind of didn't really, like, get it at first. So it took a second for me to like actually process like what they were doing, and then I finally realized like, oh crap, these people like don't talk or anything, or maybe they can't talk. I don't know. But yeah, so they were, you know, doing sign language and everything. I knew right away that this would be like a really like tough order to fulfill because, well, they weren't able to talk to me. So I kind of had to just like figure it out and then like ask them questions about if this was right or not. Alright, so the husband was up first, or boyfriend, or whatever it was. It was a couple. And so he was up first, and his order was actually really simple. You know, he ordered something pretty regular, I guess you could say. Nothing like too extra on it or anything like that. I actually don't even remember exactly what it was to this day, because that would be a little weird if I did. But yeah, his was like super easy. I got it right away. Easily figured it out. And then like it was time for his wife or girlfriend to order. Well, they kind of had to like talk it over first. And so after they were like talking it over and everything, he turns to me and starts like holding up like fingers. Oh man, I don't know why I couldn't say fingers. What the hell? But yeah, he was like holding up his fingers, I guess like telling me what number he wanted. And so I didn't want to like mess up like too bad or anything, so I kind of had to make sure, like I was like, okay, so is this the number that you want? Like you want this number and you want like the meal and all that. So he had to like nod his head and all that crap, which honestly it was so stressful. It took like a million years just to get through like that part, but that's not where it stops. All right, so after after I make sure like he wants the right number and everything, and like he wants the full meal and everything, and we get his drinks out of the way, he goes to like make adjustments on like the thing that he ordered. And so this is where it really threw me off, to be honest. So man, honestly, I wish I knew exactly what he ordered and everything. I can't remember exactly what he wanted. Oh wait, okay, I do. Alright, so what his girlfriend or whatever wanted was the number 2, alright? But that's not how he explained it, though. And this is what made everything so much harder. So, when he ordered, like, for his girlfriend or whatever, he said the number 8. And so I typed that in and everything, and they got it. And when they got their food and everything, like, he came back up to me, and he was like trying to tell me like that's not what he wanted. I mean, like, now that I look back at it, like, yeah, I know, I understand, like, that's not what you wanted, but you made it too confusing for me. He comes back and like he asked for like a pen and paper to make it a little bit easier, and even at that, like, he still didn't make it any easier. Like, the order was still like really confusing. He asked for the number 8 again, but this time he said crunchy. And so I was like, okay, what does he mean by like 8 crunchy? I mean, like, he never said number 8, he just said 8 crunchy. I had to think about that for a little bit. So I was like, okay, like, do you want an 8-piece nugget crunchy? Is that what you wanted? And so like I said back to him like the number that it was. The number 8 is the grilled sandwich, and the number 2 is like the deluxe sandwich, I think it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like the deluxe. It's like It's basically like a regular chicken sandwich, except with like lettuce, tomato, cheese, and all that. Yeah, so he said he wanted 8 crunchy, and I asked him very clearly. I said, so is it an 8-piece nugget that you want crunchy? And he shook his head yes. So I figured that's what he wanted. So I had to go back to like my manager and everything and be like, hey, you know, this guy doesn't talk or anything. He uses hand signs, and I messed up his order because it, you know, it was kind of confusing. It was hard to like really understand what he wanted. And they're like, oh no, it's alright, it's alright. And so they gave me the 8-piece nugget because I explained all that to them, and I went and brought it back out to them. So his girlfriend or whatever opens it up and looks at it, and they both look at me and shake their head, and I'm like, well, crap, like what else am I supposed to do? Like, I mean, he said 8 crunchy, which doesn't really give me like too much information, I guess, like about what he wants. So that was basically all I could do at that point. And so I'm sitting here like trying to think, like, what is it that he wanted? Like, he even said he wanted crunchy 8-piece nuggets. I mean, you wouldn't really call them crunchy nuggets. You would call them like the regular nuggets, I guess you could say. But still, like, I even asked him if that's what he wanted, and that's what he said he wanted. So, you know, I thought that was finally it. So he asked for the pen and paper again, and he writes down basically the exact same thing. And then he has the nerve. I mean, I understand, like, he's frustrated, but, like, he has the nerve to write on there, can you not read? And honestly, there, like, that was a little uncalled for, alright? Like, I get that, like, either you or your girlfriend doesn't talk, or, like, both of y'all can't talk, or something like that. But you don't have to go out and be rude like that just because, like, it's taking me a little bit longer to understand what you're saying. But, like, honestly, like, you have to understand, we don't deal with sign language people every day, or signers. I'm pretty sure that's what they're called. Like, we don't, not everyone deals with that every day, so we don't have, like, the necessary knowledge to figure out how to, like, translate, or I guess, like, figure out what you're saying, you know? But that right there, like, that was so uncalled for. Like, I get that I would kept messing it up, but you have to be, like, a little bit patient. Like I was just saying, like, not everyone, you know, can figure it out right away. I don't know sign language, so that really messed me up. It would have been a lot easier if I knew it, but, you know. But after, like, I'd read that, I was like, yeah, I can read. It's just, like, you know, I didn't really say anything else. I was just like, yeah, I can read. I was kind of thinking to myself in my head, like, how do you think I got this job if I can't read? You have to be able to read. Knowing most of the people that came in there, I mean, a lot of people thought I was, like in my 20s or something, or, like a senior or something, or, like, somewhere in college. So he may have thought, like, I was just, like, a person who'd, like, either dropped out of high school or left high school, like, or graduated and then just went to Chick-fil-A to work. I don't know. So he may have been, like, a little, I guess, judgmental, you know, judging a book by its cover. Anyways, back to the story. So after that, I had to, like, take it back, like, take the little note that he wrote to me back to, like, someone else and, like, have them try and figure it out. And, like, we had, like, 2 or 3 people, like, sitting there along with me, like, trying to figure out what this dude was talking about. And, like, we were all thinking, like, what does it mean? 8 crunchy. 8 crunchy. And, like, we already eliminated the fact that, like, he didn't need an 8-piece nugget, and he didn't want the number 8. So the only thing left was to think of what the number 8 was, which we all knew what that was, and think about it crunchy. And that finally, like, clicked. It was like, oh, okay, like, we get it. Like, he wants the number 2, basically. Like, why couldn't he just tell me number 2? Like, you don't have to say 8 crunchy. So then finally, like, we finally got it ready and everything, and, like, I went over to them and, like, apologized. I was like, hey guys, I'm so sorry. Like, it just was, like, hard for me to, like, you know, kind of understand, like, but I hope, like, y'all aren't, like, too frustrated or anything. Like, I'm extremely sorry about, you know, messing up y'all's order so many times. And by that time, like, the guy had already finished eating and everything, and, like, the girl hadn't even, like, started. Like, I felt kind of bad. But yeah, I made sure, like, everything was okay and everything, and honestly, like, it really didn't seem like they thought everything was okay. They seemed, like, still kind of pissed. But honestly, like, I don't know, if I were them, like, I would have been more lenient, because, like, you know, I would understand that they don't really deal with signers every day, so it kind of makes it hard when, you know, nobody really knows sign language. It's not really like a mandatory type thing. But anyways, guys, like, I'm sorry I didn't do too much playing and stuff. Like, I just wanted to tell this story. I really hope y'all enjoyed it. I think it's a little bit quicker than the last one, to be honest. I don't know, I think it's just because I've been improving on my commentary skills and like was able to spit everything out. Yeah, guys, like I said, I hope y'all enjoyed this little story, and I will have to try and remember another one because I'm not sure if I have another one like off the top of my head. I just know these two were like the top ones that I have stuck with me for a while. I'm pretty sure there were other ones. Yeah, anyways, guys, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Later, guys.